Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Hello and welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry, and it's the offseason, so we are continuing our look at not just some free agents, some draft prospects. We're going to bring it all together for this episode, and we're going to use a new program that's out there, Stick to the Model, it's called. This showed up last year. Seems like a good guy on Twitter. He reached out, asked for advice, if I would share it, and I did. I poked around the website. It's awesome. I see a lot of people using it. What it allows you to do is do a mock offseason. Sign free agents, extend guys, put a franchise tag on Trey Hendrickson, whatever you want to do. We're going to dive in with that today and lay the groundwork for the offseason because mock drafts are fun, and we'll do a mock draft, but they're hard to do when you're pre-free agency, right? Like, a lot of this is going to change. If you say, man, they really need a defensive end, and then they go sign 2 defensive ends, well, guess what? They may not need one in the draft. It'd be nice to take one. It's a pretty strong class. I think we have 15 defensive ends in our top 100 players on our draft spreadsheet before the combine comes and shakes it up a little bit because testing is important at that position, despite what the Shamar Stewart. We don't want to correct too hard and say that athleticism doesn't matter and testing doesn't matter. It matters. Anyway, we're gonna do this. We're gonna use Stick to the Model here, and we're gonna run an off season. I'm gonna go through my thoughts. What I'm thinking with free agency, how the Bengals can create some cap space. So we're gonna talk about a lot of things. It's gonna be a bit of a process. So stick to the model, stick in with me here as we are trying to really talk about every single step. So I might drag this out a bit, so bear with me. To the model, I'm on the website right now, as you can see. What you want to do is, and they have premium stuff where you can go to and check the pricing and things like that. But I want to go to start BAGM mode. We're going to pick the Bengals. You can see the cap space for everyone. Man, look at some of these teams. You see the Chiefs here, minus 55 million. Right. So they're over the cap. The Bills, 7 million over the cap. Cowboys, 29. But a lot of these teams are going to create space. I think I saw the Cowboys could create up to $150 million in cap space. If that confuses you, you're in the right place because I'm going to break down how you can create some of this money and why the cap is still pretty fake for me. So I'm going to sign in here. Okay, so we picked the Bengals here. They have $55 million to start. What I like about this app is that it really can say, do you want to go with some smart suggestions? So you can click on this and it'll tell you, hey, cut candidates, Orlando Brown Jr. Now I'm going to say, let's go through this a little bit, right? Because I want to give you the whole idea of what I'm thinking of here. I don't think you're cutting Orlando Brown Jr. at all. Why? Because yes, you may save $13.8 million. 13.8. You're not getting a starting left tackle for $14 million. When you see some of the projections, it's not a good offensive line free agency. Just like last year, some of these guys are going to get paid 15, 20 million, talking below average starters around the league in the hopes that they can develop into something more, be better for them. I'm not cutting Orlando Brown Jr. If anything, you could extend him and try and reduce his cap hit if you really need some cap space. DJ Turner, no, of course not. We're not cutting him. Andre Osavash, you could consider it. I think he's a candidate with $3.6 million hit right there. You could save 3.6. There are some people that are out on Yoshi. I'm not there. I think he's a good number 4. I want to find a number 3 this year to help this offense out a lot. I'm not cutting him, but he is a guy that you could, in a similar way that they did with Cordell Volson last year, because his cap hit is so high because Yoshi has played a lot. So they approached Volson and said, can we reduce his salary basically and keep you on the team? You would do the same for Yoshi, although receiver is valuable around the league. I think Yoshi is worth that 3.6, and I think, honestly, you could consider trading him if you found somebody else. I think there'd be teams out there interested because I don't expect the wide receiver market to be very hot in free agency, not after like Alec Pierce of the Colts gets extended or franchise tagged. I don't think he's in free agency. I think he's too good. You're not letting these guys go when all these teams have cap space. Then same goes for Jordan Battle. I think 30.8 is still starting quality caliber, even if he ends up being safety number 3 after we make all our moves. I think I'm okay with that for a year. Chase Brown is a guy I'm trying to extend. Same with DJ Turner. That's why we're not considering that. But it gives you some ideas. Next here is restructure candidates, and we're not going to do it right away. But these are simple restructures. This isn't asking the player to take a pay cut. A restructure is when you take a base salary, convert it into a signing bonus, and signing bonuses can be spread out over up to 5 years. So if this guy is due to make $40 million this year and we want to bring it down to $28 million or $20 million, we want to take that $20 million now and spread it over 5 years. It would be a $4 million cap hit on top of his $20 million that you have remaining. So it'd be 24 instead of 40. You see how we're saving $16 million there? And then that 4 would go on each of the next few years, which is what every team is doing because the cap is exploding. You want to pack the roster, your current roster, and worry about that money later because it really, the way the cap is exploding, that $4 million this year is a larger percentage of that than that $4 million in 4 years will be of the cap. Does that make sense? I know I don't always, I'm not always clear. I'm not a natural teacher, but I try to explain it in ways we can understand. But you can do that with Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. And you could create 6.5, 13.2. So we're at 19.7 million plus 18 million. I mean, I would love to create $37 million in cap space. And it doesn't change anything. All it does is kick some of the cap hits into the future where you have even more cap space. The Bengals have an insane amount of cap space in the future years because they have nobody under the roster. They should restructure at least Joe Burrow and do these other guys because they could have a free-for-all in free agency with how much money they could create. They could be sitting there with $90 million in cap space and being great shape. Then they give you some extension candidates. BJ Hill just extended, and it's funny because I've seen people say, cut BJ Hill. This says he's outperforming his current deal because he was not bad last year. He has continued to be a steady player. I'm not extending him at his age. Ted Karras also outperforming, probably an expiring contract. I think his cap hit is $4.4 million for a starting center who's a captain. You could, again, put one more year on Ted Karras' deal. I don't think you'd reduce the cap hit, though, so it's not really a situation where you could do that. They say Mike Gesicki is outperforming, but he was just extended also, so we're not going there. All of these don't make sense, so you have to use your brain. Don't just take all of these and say, yeah, we'll do whatever you tell me to do. You don't want to let the AI run your program here. Okay, franchise tag candidates. Now, I haven't done this. I've only done this simulation a couple times. I haven't tried to tag and trade Trey. I would love to. I think that is the process. That is what you should be trying to do. I think most teams, competing teams, good teams with a vision, all things that Bengals we struggle with them at times, would not let Trey just walk in the offseason, right? They wouldn't just say, we tried to get deals with you, Trey. You had a down year. You got injured. We're just tired of dealing with you. You can just walk. That is silly. Yeah, he's the number one free agent, and you let that guy go. I'm going to be upset about it if it happens. So, and that doesn't mean I think they should just go and bend over backwards and extend him now either. It should have happened last year. It should have happened the year before, and you'd already have everything settled. But we're in the situation we're in. We have to play within the Bengals sandbox, and sometimes that sandbox is not the prettiest. It's a sandbox that's left outside. They left the lid off. There's spiders in it. A cat pooped in it. It rained last night. It's not a great sandbox to play in sometimes, but we're going to play in it and say, all right, Trey Hendrickson, I would like to tag you. If I sit here and apply the tag, I'll see if I can trade him afterwards. He currently has a cap hit of $6.5 million. The tag value they has at 27.3. That's the other part. I'll say it now. The numbers aren't great on this website. He is updating them. I've spoken to him. He is trying to get them closer. That cap hit value is actually 3.2. So I don't know why the numbers get messed up sometimes. He's working through it. We're going to try and use it as honestly and what I think the projections are as possible. Other tag candidates, Dax is not on an expiring deal, so he shouldn't be on there. Anyways, we're going to go down now. Any cut candidates is our first thing we're going to do is see who should we be cutting. First step in the process. And for me, the first one here is Cody Ford. And I'm going to try and go down, though I find Cody Ford. I may have passed him. There's TJ Slayton. I'm not seeing Cody Ford. I'm going to have to go by position. O-line. There's Cody Ford. He is 29. He has 1 year left. He's got a $3.3 million cap hit. It would save us $2.8 million. So I'm cutting him there. The other guy I think that people think about is TJ Slayton. And TJ Slayton would save you 6.1. He'd have a $2.5 million dead cap hit. I'm not there yet. With that $6 million, I'd like to sign a DJ Reader and just go 1-for-1. But I would also, the Bengals should have plenty of space. I'd like to add a DJ Reader or a defensive tackle next to TJ Slayton. I'd love to shut the run down, get you in as many third and long possible situations as we can, and let the mediocre pass rush get to you from there. Because I don't think I can build a great pass rush this offseason. And all the simulations I do, whether it's adding a rookie defensive end or defensive tackle, adding a couple of mid-tier free agent defensive linemen, you're not going to get a better pass rush by losing Trey Hendrickson, right? You're losing a premium asset and getting a bunch of guys with like a 15 to 20% pass rush win rate. It's going to drop you off a little bit. So I think you can build a very good run defense team and a very good coverage team on the back end, which can create good opportunities for a mediocre pass rush to get unleashed. And I think that's my idea. So I'm not cutting TJ Slayton just yet. He's really the only other guy I would consider. There's no one else on the roster. If you're wondering, but like Geno Stone, he's already a free agent. You don't have to worry about that. So those are the guys that are on the roster there. We're going to go with that. Here are our pending free agents and how we want to handle this. I would love to try and just extend Trey Hendrickson. Dalton Reisner is one that I would like to try and extend. So I just realized these are for extending them during the season. We don't want to do that just yet. Makes the cap numbers very weird. The Bengals aren't, I don't expect them to extend. We've already passed that point anyways. This would be if it was up until, I believe it was Friday, the Bengals, and around the league this happened. Any void money left was activated. So, you know, we're past that point of what that process wants you to do. But then you go to the next step and you start getting offers from other teams if you're interested in trading. Like Pitt wants DJ Turner. No, thank you, Pittsburgh. Seattle is offering Zach Charbonnet. No, thank you. Tennessee offering Tony Pollard. No. New England wants Dax Hill. No, thank you. New England offers Kayshon Boutte. I don't know why they would. Jacksonville for Dax. Washington wants to trade Marshawn Lattimore. And Vegas offers Michael Mayer. I actually would be interested in that. What are they looking for? Looking for 4th round pick. Nah, no thank you. I'm not interested in at that rate. So we're going to keep it going. I could try to I didn't tag Trey, so I wonder if I could have done it there, if that's how it works. I wonder if I could even go back and do it. No, I can't, so that's okay. I would love to extend Trey, and it says here he's looking for 21.8. I think that's what PFF has him at in that range there. I think he's going to get more than that. If that was the case, I think the Bengals would be all over it. I think he would be all over it. I just don't think it's going to happen. Let's go down to the more obvious or easier re-signings. Joe Flacco at $4.3 million per year on a 1-year deal. I'm in. And he accepted. Let's keep Joe Flacco as a backup. I'm in on that. I think he's been a good fit. If he doesn't find a job out there where he can go be a starter or compete for it, his next best option, and I'm just talking honestly here, would be a quarterback that has injury issues where he could start because of that. So, to me, that's the Bengals, right? Let's just being honest. And I don't want Joe Burrow to have injury issues. It just is what it is. I think their valuation on Dalton and Reisner, again, is so not right. Let's go to 5.5 for 2 years. We're going to make this offer. And now it's going to say no. But he's not getting $10 million. He's never even been paid more than $4 million a year. So I'm going to force this, which I love that they have an option in this app built in. Because sometimes the model or the AI isn't right. So I have forced that to go through at $5.5 million. We're keeping Dalton Reisner for 2 years. And if I see somebody that's completely out of whack, I'm going to try and be as honest with it as possible. Just like I'm not going to go, in free agency, last time I did this, Cameron Curl was getting $3 million a year or something. He's not going to get that. He's going to get 12. So I offered him 12 to get him, right? And of course I got him at that. I'm not just going to play the game because it's easy. I'm going to try and do it as real as we possibly can. Okay. Next step. Do we want to bring back Noah Fant? I would like to upgrade the tight end room. I would like to get somebody that can be more of a balanced blocker and receiver. I think it's too hard when you have Mike Gesicki, who is a straight up slot receiver, and Drew Sample is a straight up blocker and can't do anything else. They should, if this offense is going to take another step, it's going to be because you find a tight end that can do everything, and you don't have to really manage how you're using them. I mean, Mike Gesicki can't block at all, and Drew Sample can't run routes at all. So it makes it very hard to have two extremes. Noah Fant was a little bit of both. But I'm not interested in paying that much money. You know, they're saying 10. He's not going to get that. He's going to get another $3 million contract. And at that rate, I'm interested. You know, that's what Yoshi and Jordan Battle are getting. Noah Fant is in that category. But I'm just not interested at that rate. Other guys here, real quickly. Marco Wilson, I don't have to have him back. Cam Taylor-Britt, I don't have to have him back. Even at the $1.9 million, I don't think he's going to get a ton out there, but I don't have to have him back. I am interested in bringing Cam Sample back. He can play and I was going to be interested in Jake Browning if Flacco didn't resign. I know we're tired of Jake Browning, but it's backup quarterback, $2 million. Cam Sample, though, at $3 million, I am interested, but I think I want to take that money and try and find a couple upgrades in free agency, so I'm not going to mess with it just yet. I'm going to say this, though. This might shock people. At $1.4 million, I'm interested in bringing Cordell Volson back. As a backup guard, I just cut Cody Ford, remember? So now I feel pretty good about my interior guard position here with Lucas Patrick, with Dalton Reisner, and with Cordell Volson. He's a fine backup, and he's been on the roster for a long time. If he's not going to go out there and get a better job, then I want him back. Jalen Davis at $1.4 million, I'm going to up it just a little bit. I think he played well enough at the end there to say he gets just a little bit more, and I'm going to say we'll give him a 2-year deal this time. So $1.8 million for 2 years. I don't know if you guys know this, but Brian Asamoah, I thought he did really good on special teams while he was here. So I would like to have him back. Tyson Anderson, very similarly. I'd actually like to give him a 2-year deal, and I'd like to increase it a little bit to about $1.8 million. Similar to Jalen Davis. I think Tyson Anderson is a very good special teamer and a guy I would like to have on the roster. They're trying to get Lucas Patrick at 3.6 here. I don't know why that is. I would be interested in bringing Patrick back, but he just was so injured, it's hard to say. Jackson Kirkland as a bottom of the roster guy. Can I re-sign him? Is it going to let me on Jackson Kirkland? All right, what's going on here? Jake Browning, do not want that. I can't click on Jackson Kirkland. Okay. They're giving me some comparable contracts. That's fun for Jake Browning. Comparable to Andy Dalton and getting $4 million a year. We got Flacco at 4.5 or whatever it was. So I'm going to come back up to the top now. And look at this, and if you can see up here, we still have $41 million in cap space. We've got to work on Trey Hendrickson and Joseph Osai. I am still interested in Osai because he's 25 years old. I think he's gotten better the last 3 years. I think at $14 million, that is way too much. So I'm going to let him go into free agency. I'm not going to force anything on Osai here. I was confident Dalton Reisner is not going to get the $10 million they were saying, so I forced that one. But Osai at $14 million, I'm going to go see what else is out there. Trey at 21. I think and it says up to 25. I think I would be all in on that. Whether or not the Bengals will, I just think they're going to let him walk. I think it's run its course. I'm trying to do this with my mind and the Bengals' mind. I think it's run its course. I do believe they're just going to let him walk in free agency. And I think that's stupid, and I think it's terrible, and I hate it. So now we're going to go on now to the external free agents, the guys that are out there. And you can go up to the top here and like click on edge and wide receiver. I thought so. And get the guys there. Let's see. See if I can get it. Nope. Maybe not. Oh, it must be here. There we go. There's where we're looking. Let's go to edge first. Okay. It shows our guys at the top here. It shows the available players. Joey Bosa at $19 million. No thanks. $7 million for me, Joey Bosa. I'm not interested at $19 million. He was terrible against the run. He got injured again this year. I'm not in on that. Khalil Mack, that's too much at 17. Malcolm Kuntz, I am interested in, but not at 13. El-Kadin Muhammad was very good this year. I would be interested, even though he's 31, but at 18, I'm not going to do it. Quiddy Pay at 13, not interested. Clavon Chason at 14, not interested. Adafe Owe at 14, I am in on. And in fact, I think he's going to get $25 million a year. So if I were to sign him, I would do it at what I think he's going to get. And I think he's going to get paid. Arden Key at 11.6, Jadeveon Clowney at just under 10. Clowney was really good again. I don't know if you guys know this. Every year, he's a mercenary defensive end. He was very good for the Cowboys. He may have been their best defensive end last year. Cleveland Farrell, what? At 10? I don't understand what's going on there. Leonard Floyd, who's mercenary pass rusher again. There's got to be a better value down here somewhere. Cameron Jordan's still a quality player. I'd be interested in. AJ Epinesa, I'd be interested. That's like a Joseph Osai level player. So if I can save $4 million on what they have Osai getting, I'm interested. Dante Fowler, again, another pass rusher. Jalen Phillips, I would be interested in. PFF has him at a 1-year, $15 million deal because of his past injury history. I would try and be fair and say $20 million for him instead of the 10 they got him at here, the 9.4. I really like Arnold Ebiketie. He's 27. They got him as a rotational player. I think would be the best pass rusher on the Bengals roster. I think he's one of the best pass rushers in this free agency. Kingsley Enagbare is a solid rotational piece. Samson Ebukam is a solid rotational piece. Charles Menahue has been. Some of these guys are guys that, like Azeez Ojulari, I'd like to have and bring him in as a depth guy and see if he can still do anything. Josh Uche, we're getting down to the bottom. Cameron Thomas, when he played for the Browns, I thought he was very good, and I'd be interested in that right there, especially at that price. You got to find these depth guys, right, that can be good for you. So let's start at the top. I'm going to start to make offers now. I've been talking about a lot of players. Like I said, I'm going to go through this. Bear with me. It'll probably be a longer episode. Might even be a 2-part episode at the rate we're going. We're already at over 22 minutes. So the guy I want to bring in, if possible, if we really want to do this, would be Odafe Oweh. The problem is it's David Mulugeta's client. So we're going to keep it moving. And that means the best guy I'm going to get here is the guy I really want is going to be Arnold Ebiketie. And they got him for $11.8 million per year. And I'm okay with that. I think that's in the range. I would like to try and get him for a little bit less than that. I'd like him on a 3-year deal if we possibly can. Can I get him a little bit less if I give him a little bit less per year if I give him that 3rd year on there? So we're talking a 3-year, $34 million contract, and he accepted it. And I've got some stats here, and I'll probably pop them up here for you. So Arnold Ebiketie had a great pass rush win rate last year, and he was part of a rotation, and so really got a lot of true pass sets to get really come off the edge. He was very good, very, very good. And I am a big fan of his and was a big fan of his coming out of the draft. And I know, for a lot of people, that's not going to be a name you really know. He was a high 2nd-round pick out of Penn State, and a guy that has continued to play pretty well. Now I'm going to add to the DN room with Cameron Thomas here. And they're saying $2 million. I want to make sure I get him. I'm going to go up to 2.5 and try and get him on a 2-year deal. I can only go to 2.4 on a 2-year deal and try and get him. Now, if you want to know who Cameron Thomas is, here's Thomas's profile page. He was from San Diego State in 2022, 3rd-round pick by the Arizona Cardinals. Go all the way down here. The Cardinals, he had him for 2 years there. They played him about 500 to 600 snaps, and he had first year 19 pressures, then 16, 3 sacks as a rookie. I mean, I don't know why he's a 3rd-round pick. After 2 years, they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then he cut him. He went to KC and Cleveland, didn't really play much in 2024. And then 2025, he played 300 snaps for the Browns. He was a solid pass rusher, 13 pressures, 4 sacks, had 8 defensive stops. They said he was a quality run defender. I'm talking, this is a guy to replace Cam Sample, who was still only 26 years old and 6'5", 267. That's right in the Bengals range, right? And while we're here, let's pull up Arnold Ebiketie. Okay, and we'll go down to his. So if you look at his pass rush, last 3 years he's been solid. His first year, 28 pressures and 3 sacks. Sophomore year was 28 and 7. Then he had 39 and 6. And then this past year was 25 and 2. His pass rushes went way down though. Only 183 pass rushes this year. To get 25 pressures and 2 sacks is pretty quality. And you go back to his sophomore year, 175 pass rushes, 28 pressures, 7 sacks is very, very good. So it's a guy I still think has a lot left to him. He just turned 27. He's more of your agility, speed rusher, 2nd-round pick, 38th overall to the Falcons. I still think he can be a good player. So to me, I didn't get a number 1 pass rusher by letting Trey go, but I did replace Cam Sample as a depth guy, and I did get Arnold Ebiketie in here. So the top 4 right now are Miles Murphy, Shamar Stewart, Arnold Ebiketie, who I think is the best pass rusher of those 3, and then Cameron Thomas. And then you've got your Cedric Johnsons and stuff like that. This just gets me to the draft. If David Bailey and Ruben Bain are there, I'm taking them, right? That doesn't stop me from taking those guys. I want that depth because Shamar Stewart's going to play a bunch of defensive tackle as well. So give me the depth at DN and let me do what the Seahawks did. And now I want to kick it inside and look at defensive line and look for a defensive tackle. Let's go all the way to the top here. Jalen Redmond, I would love. Juwan Briggs, they're exclusive free agents. They're not going anywhere. All right, top pass rusher for the defensive tackle spot, and he played more DN, is probably Draymond Jones. Daquan Jones, solid nose tackle type run defender. Logan Hall, they've got really cheap here. I would love to have Logan Hall and add a pass rusher. Like if my defensive line in pass rush situations is Shamar Stewart at D tackle, Logan Hall at D tackle, Arnold Ebiketie and Miles Murphy, I think that's okay. It's not great, but I think you're in the right direction. And that's before we get to the draft. And if you draft a Peter Wood, Caleb Banks, Caden McDonald, name your defensive tackle, or your David Bailey, Ruben Bain, hopefully maybe Keldrick Falk, right? I guess could be in there. But I'd be interested in Logan Hall for sure. Going down the list, though, if we want to add more run defenders, Roy Lopez is one of them. They got him at $15 million. He's not going to get that. There's some guys in here I don't even know. He's got a restricted free agent tender on him, so I don't know what's going on there. He put a high tender on him. John Franklin Myers is probably the best of this group. I think he's going to get more than 13. I think he's going to be in the more of the 18 range. They got a high-end range of him at 18, so I do think he's going to get that, maybe even 20 because there's so much cap space out there this year with the cap going up even more. Andrew Billings, quality player, 31. Calais Campbell, quality player. Sheldon Rankins as well. Shelby Harris. These are all fine players that can help you. T.R. Tart, didn't he just get extended already? He may have, so I'm not going to mess with him. They got DJ Reader at 4.6. I'm in. I think Fox Sports just had us getting DJ Reader as well. So I'm going to make them an offer at 5.5 and say we're going to defend the run and we're going to get us to better pass rushing situations. So now the defensive tackle room is BJ Hill, TJ Slayton, DJ Reader, and then Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson. Leaves me in position to sign or to draft a defensive tackle and especially a pass rusher and feel like I've got a complete room. I'm trying to build some depth. Do the Bengals always do that? They don't. Now we're going to safety. Geno Stone projected to get 2.9. We're not interested. Jaquan Brisker expected to get 12.6. I am interested in Brisker. And I did a film review on Brisker and really liked what he did for the Bears. And he's been a pretty consistent player. Hasn't been great if you look at PFF grades, and we can pull that up. So here's Brisker here. Again, another premium pick, 48th in round 2 out of Penn State. So maybe he wants to come play with Arnold Ebiketie. He'll be 27 soon. But if you look at his PFF grades, pretty consistent, right? In the mid-60s. That's not amazing. His coverage, again, in the 60s down to a 54. He missed a lot of 2024. Ton of snaps this year. He's a good run defender, hitter, tackler, plays with his hair on fire. I want that, but I want to be clear about what he has been. He's been a quality player, hasn't been an amazing player. I think this is true with a lot of these free agents at safety. A lot of guys we want because they'd be upgrades. But are they amazing? No, they're fine. So at 12.6 million, am I in on that? Sure, I'd consider it. Jalen Thompson at 10. I do like Jalen Thompson a lot. And this is a guy who's 28 and he started for like 7 years in Arizona. So I am in on that. Kyle Duggar at 8. I'm not, but he's a good player. Kevin Byard's still very good. I think he led the league in interceptions this year. Tony Adams, most underrated player that nobody talks about in free agency. They're saying 8.9. I appreciate that because I think Tony Adams is a good player. He's on the shadow team, so I've known who Tony Adams is for a long time. In fact, let's bring up his PFF since you guys don't know either. Tony Adams was an undrafted free agent in 2022, went to the Jets out of the University of Illinois. And if you look, similar to Jaquan Brisker, right? Mid-60s grading, a little bit better in coverage. Hasn't been a full-time starter. 879 snaps is about 88% of the snaps in 2023. 76% of the snaps in 2024 and just under 50% of the snaps in 2025. He is run defense. I always thought he was a better run defender than this. It has slipped every single year. And if you go to where his alignment has been, he used to do more free safety, and that's when he was grading better as a run defender. And as they put him in the box a little bit less, they took him out of free safety a little bit. Oh, because his overall snaps went down. That's right. So his box number went up. His percentage of box snaps went up. Took him out of the free safety spot. Took him out of the slot. Used to be able to do more slot stuff where I thought he was a good run defender as well. You go back to that 2023 season where I thought it was his best year. Like, I would like to use him as a free safety and slot type guy. I'm in on Tony Adams. If we're talking, I think he might get like $4 million a year. If you want to sign 2 free agent safeties, I'd take Tony Adams for sure. Others at safety, it's a very strong free agent class. Reed Blankenship, Kobe Bryant. The hard part about Kobe Bryant for me, and I know a lot of people are going to like Kobe Bryant. Anyone that plays for Mike McDonald in that defense looks good. That's a Geno Stone signing, right? Like, we should bring up his PFF and look at that. Geno Stone, we signed him from Mike McDonald when he was with the Ravens. You got to be careful of those guys. As soon as he left the Ravens, Marcus Williams went down the tube too. Kobe Bryant was a 4th-round pick, Cincinnati Bearcat. That's why people are interested. 6'1", 193, kind of thin at that. I wonder if he's bigger now. But you go back, he played a lot his rookie year, did not play a lot his second year, and didn't grade really well that second year either. Third year, though, this is when Mike McDonald got here, 2024. Like, instantly, Kobe Bryant's good. And that scares me a little bit. This is a cutting-edge defense that you're attacking as this defense. You have the upper hand. And when you watch these safeties and corners play, but he's been a true free safety for them. 908 snaps this year, 651, barely in the box. I mean, that's, if you're looking for a deep free safety, Kobe Bryant's one of the guys that's available in this free agency. The other one would be the other Brian Cook from Cincinnati. So both Cincinnati safeties ended up being good free safety types. Just depends on how much money Kobe Bryant ends up getting. There is a little bit of risk there coming from that defense. Next guy on this list is Nick Cross. That's my guy. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's 25, has played 4 years, 25, is 6'1", 220, runs a 4.34 a couple years ago, or 4 years ago when he was drafted. A freak athlete that can hit, that is more of a box safety. That's the problem. He's going to help you against the run. He's going to help you as a tackler. He's going to help you as an enforcer. I really like Nick Cross a ton. And $11.4 million, I'd be all over that. I think he's a very good player that's only ascending. So I'd be in. I think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, fine player, but is a headache. Ronnie Hickman, who's a restricted, solid player. Andre Sisco at 2.5, I'm in. You want to sign a third safety? You want to sign a depth guy that can play for you also? To me, that's Sisco. That also might be Andrew Wingard. So you have to keep looking. DeMar Hamlin, Brian Cook, way down here. He's going to get way more than that. He's going to get like $16 million. That was where I was going to go in this and see if we can get him. Cameron Curl, same thing. I like Cameron Curl. I was going to go with Brian Cook in this. He's played for a good defense as well. Played a lot of free safety. We're going to go more honest with his evaluation here. Even though 9.1 is way too low. I'm trying to go all the way up here. It makes me not want to do it. Let's do it. 3 years, 9.1 per whatever. There's so many safeties here. Maybe they do get deflated a little bit. Is there anyone at the bottom here where if we wanted to sign another safety, we could? No, that's about it for that. We should go with one safety for now and keep it looking. But there is a ton of guys here I would take. Even if I was down on a couple of these guys, I would take pretty much all of them and see how it plays out. So I don't have to force a safety pick high in this draft. But there are a bunch of safeties I do like. So after signing a defensive tackle, DJ Reader, 2 defensive ends, Cameron Thomas and Arnold Ebiketie, and Brian Cook at safety, I feel pretty good about that. There is one other defensive player that I really, really, really want, and that brings me to linebacker. I don't think the Bengals should just bank on the 2 young guys from last year, Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight, of becoming plus players. Could they become quality starters? Sure. I'm not throwing them out completely yet. But to think that they're going to go from being this bad as rookies to plus or impact players is probably asking for a lot. Now we're going to the top of this linebacker sheet here, and it looks like, so because we have 12.6 million left, it's telling us you can't really afford Caden Ellis, Nakobe Dean, Alex Anzalone. They got Devin Bush way too far down here. Bobby Wagner, Quay Walker. I would take. I'm lower on Quay Walker. He's a premium pick, so someone's going to pay him. But I think Devin Lloyd's clearly better. I think Bush would be someone I'd be in on. Nakobe Dean, a lot of injuries. I'm not sure he's going to get a lot of money. Caden Ellis is a very good player, dynamic player, one of probably the best blitzing linebacker in the entire NFL. And then I go to Leo Chenal, and that's who I want. And they got him at $14 million, and boy, that seems like a lot. So we're going to keep looking. They say I can't even afford it. Devin White at 12, too much. Ivan Pace is a restricted. They must give him a high tender. Jermaine Pratt. These guys are all they're all projected to get way too much. Demario Davis, though. Let's say we want to help our two young guys get to where they need to be. Well, Bengals linebacker coach came from the Saints. Demario Davis has been playing high-quality football. Actually, let's bring up his PFF page. 37 years old, former third-round pick. Let's go. Look at him. Look at him. Since he's been with New Orleans, like that is elite grading and durability. Look at those snap counts on the left side. 1,100, 1,000 basically. 1,000, 1,100, 1,000, 1,100, 1,000. Almost 1,100, almost 1,100. Yeah, he's very good still. And elite against the run. I mean, we're talking, would you take this to help get these young guys going? And they're projecting them at $8 million. Yeah, I'm in on Demario Davis for that spot. So let's do it. Let's give him a 2-year deal at, he's probably going to get a little bit more than this being a veteran the way he is. Let's say 8. Let's just put it straight up at $8 million. Make that offer. We got Demario Davis. Confirm that signing. I love it. There's one other position I'd like to attack. We only got $4 million left. And I'd like to attack that if we can. And that's tight end. We've already signed Dalton Risner at guard. I will look at receiver real fast before I go and do what I want to do here. Wide receiver, if you want to go find a guy that can really upgrade from Andre Osubach, getting down to the bottom here, maybe add some speed, a Tutu Atwell. De'Ami Brown, he's not going to get 3. He's going to get more than that. I would be all in on De'Ami Brown. But you get down here, can you get a Jahan Dotson, Tylan Wallace, Rondell Moore, who hasn't played in 2 years, Sky Moore? I mean, to me, these are guys that are in the same mold as a Andre Osubach. So I'm not interested. I'm going to look in the draft for that guy. I also would be interested in a backup running back, or, there's some good running backs out there every year in free agency. It's part of the reason why extending Chase Brown is going to be an exercise. But Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams had a very good bounce back year for the Cowboys. Travis Etienne, I still think is good. Kenneth Gainwell, one of the best receiving running backs in the league, would be great in this Bengals offense. Would be great for the Bengals. Rashad White. We got some exclusive rights free agents. Najee Harris could probably still help you a little bit. Tyler Algier. I don't know why he's so low on this. He's going to get more than that, but I'd be in on Tyler Algier. Anyway, I'm not going to sign a running back because I'm going to try to extend Chase Brown. I'm going to go to tight end, and I want to see if there's anyone here that we could bring in that could offset a little bit of Gesicki and Drew Sample and what they don't have combined. Can I get a guy? Can I either get a better blocker than Drew Sample that can do a little more receiving, or can I get an all-around guy? And to me, Dallas Goedert would be a blast. I think he's better than what you're getting at either one. Kyle Pitts probably going to break the tight end market. I can see him getting $20 million in the offseason. Cade Otton, interested in. At $14 million, not interested. Isaiah Likely at 14, not interested. David Njoku at 9, 10. No, probably not interested. This is real. Daniel Bellinger at 4, sure. That's like the range I'm thinking of. Whereas, can I get a guy that can do a little bit more for cheap? We got to find these value guys here. And to me, that's Charlie Kolar all the way. And I sign him every single time. People are like, man, you can't give up the Charlie Kolar hype, can you? Easy. Let's give him a little bit more here. I'll tell you why I really like Charlie Kolar. And we're talking about a guy who's still 27. One of the best blockers in the league. Because it wasn't Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely in that Ravens offense that was blocking. This is my upgrade to Drew Sample. And you see these teams going more 12 personnel. To me, this helps Gesicki be more of a wide receiver, slot receiver. And now I can do more with, let's say it's your tight end room is actually Drew Sample, Charlie Kolar, Eric All bounces back. Well, that's a solid blocking tight end room. And you've got the receivers and Tanner Hudson, who they re-signed, and Mike Gesicki. But I'll bring up Charlie Kolar real quick. I think he was 10th overall in blocking by PFF. And not a terrible receiver. Definitely better than, not as good as I thought he would be coming out. I actually thought he'd be a really good receiver, or at least could develop into one. He's just been a quality type. Only 13 targets, 11, 10 the last couple of years. Catching most of his targets, 77 throughout his career, just about 80% over the last 3 years. Getting about 14 yards per catch the last 2 years. So a little bit more than what Drew Sample typically gives you. Does it have his missed tackles forced here? None missed tackles forced. but a passer rating of a 132.6 when targeted throughout his career. So again, I'm talking about a guy who's probably only going to catch 10 to 15 passes, but I think that's what Drew Sample has been. Let me go to Drew Sample. You could even cut Sample if you really got into the draft, because there's supposed to be a lot of, I did that incorrectly? There's supposed to be a lot of tight ends in this class, but if you go to Drew Sample comparison as a blocker, just it's not there, and this only shows pass blocking, doesn't show run blocking. But he's not as good as Charlie Kolar is. And Drew's only catching 15 passes last year, 20 and 22, averaging 7.2 per catch. Not great. A 97 passer rating when targeted. So, to me, Charlie Kolar is a better Drew Sample in almost every single way. So that leaves us with just $2 million left of all of our cap space. And we still have to extend some guys, right? We still have to extend DJ Turner, Dax Hill. These are guys I would like to extend. Let's see here. What's the button here? Extend. Yeah. So let's start with, maybe we start with the easier one here. Let's start with Chase Brown. All right. Let's give him a 3-year. About, can we do the APY? What's this at? Okay. 13. I want to get him down to 10. 3 years, $30 million extended. If they even let us do it right now, because the 2026 cap it, we'll be fine. We can afford this right now, I believe. Extend only, so that leaves us with almost no money left in cap space. But 3 years, $30 million. His cap it's only 5.9. It's not crazy. Okay, now I want to extend DJ Turner and Dax Hill. I think DJ Turner is going to get about, they got him at 22. I think I was hoping for around 15 or 16. 17.2 is the lowest I can get for him. I only want to do 3 years also because he's 25. I want this to be a 4-year total. So 25, 26, 27, 28. That's pretty much all I want to go with corners. They start to really drop off there. We're bringing his cap hit this year from a $4 million to an $8.8 million. So it only went up a little bit. Dax Hill's got a $12 million hit here. And I want to bring him, and I think his extension, similar to DJ. Let's not go too crazy between the two of them. Same age, 25. So I want him for 25, 26, 27, 28. So 4 years total. So we're extending him 3 years. This brings his cap hit up just a little bit. So we're extending him at about $17 million per year, similar to DJ Turner. Now you can bring these cap hits even lower if you wanted to massage it. But now that means we're $8 million over the cap. If you look at all the way top there, we're $8 million over. This is where the restructures come in. With Joe Burrow, a standard restructure. Standard. Easy restructure. $18 million. We're back. We got $10 million. We got right where the Bengals like to roll over. And we didn't even do everything we could do. We could still restructure T, Jamar, BJ Hill. You can create a ton. Let's go to all here. Let's see all these. Is there anyone else? No, it's just, that's if I wanted to restructure them all. But as you can see there, plenty of space. You want to go dip back into free agency? You can. You want to go, because with these other restructures, if you really wanted to push it. But this is just the money that the restructure money from Joe Burrow would really go towards the Chase Brown, DJ Turner, Dax Hill extension. And what did we increase our cap hits from? Actually, let me go see here. We went from 12.7 to 16, let's say 4 million for Dax. We brought it up about 4 million for DJ Turner. And then at running back, we brought it up about 2.5 million. So not a lot. It doesn't take a lot to extend these guys this year. One restructure can do it while also adding a tight end, 2 edges, a defensive tackle, a linebacker, and a safety. The only other position I would really like to go to next is see if I can find a slot corner. Is there a slot corner in here that's better than Jalen Davis? That would make a lot of sense. And I want to see what these guys are going to get anyways. Tariq Woolen, they got so cheap here. That's not going to happen. Some of the numbers are off on a lot of these guys, and it is what it is. You still got to use your... Ty Okada is they got him exclusive, but he's a safety. Nobody I absolutely have to have. Interesting, Jalen Watson's at $9 million there. Anyone I really like? Roger McCreary's interesting. He didn't really take off with the Rams the way I thought. Emerson at $10 million. Sante Samuel at 2.7. Sorry, Elam at 1.1. I take him for a depth guy again. And still, yeah, we're getting a lot of restricted guys here. So I'm probably, Mick Robinson, I'm sort of interested because I think he'd be better in the slot. Nashawn Wright just had a great year, didn't he? Should be more higher than that. Yeah, we're getting down to the end. Chidobe Awuzie, 5.9. I'd be interested but again, I don't think we're kicking Dax back into the slot unless we draft a guy at 10. That's really good. So that's our free agency. And to be honest with you, I think the roster looks so much better. I think we're in good shape. So I feel like I used free agency in a smart way there, right? I got new blood on the defensive side between safety, linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end. Brought in another tight end to help keep us dynamic. I extended 3 guys. You'd feel really good about the Bengals there. I know we didn't get a star in free agency. There's not a lot of them, guys. Brian Cook is as close as you're going to get. And I feel like I stole him at that rate. So even if we're like, I should be $5 million more than that, we had plenty of money to do that. We had $10 million left over. So what the goal was for me in free agency, though, was to inject new blood, leadership on the defensive side, while also freeing up our ability to draft the best player, at 10, 41. I don't even know what they pick in round 3. It's got to be like 77 or something. But get there, draft the best player available. And we're going to do that in the next episode of Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. So yeah, you got to wait. It's a 2-parter. You got this one. We went too long. Free agency is that long. And we're going to set ourselves up to carry this over into the draft on Friday's episode and say, okay, that's our first mock of the season. We did a mock off season. Now we're going to finish it off with the draft. And we're going to try and get this Bengals team back to the Super Bowl by adding some. We're open now, right? Give me now in your comments. Now after this, hopefully Caleb Downs is there. If he's not, then I mean we can roll with whatever. You can draft a corner. You want to draft a receiver? No, we don't want to draft a receiver. Can you draft tight end, offensive line? I mean, I'm for whatever at this point. And I'm still looking for a really good pass rusher, especially at defensive tackle. We still don't have one. I would really like one at defensive end still. So we still have needs, but not pressing needs. We can line up today and play a game. And that's the goal for free agency for me. So until next time, Hoo day.